Hi, today's passage is taken from Matthew chapter 21, verse 12 till 17. Then Jesus went into the temple of God, drove out all those who bought and sold in the temple, and overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold those. Verse 13, and he said to them, "It is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it in a den of thieves." 14, then a blind and a lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. 15, but when the chief priests and scribes saw the wonderful things that he did, and the children crying out in the temple and saying, "Hosanna to the Son of David," they were indignant, and said to him, "Do ye hear what these are saying?" And Jesus said to them, "Yes, have you never read, out of the mouth of babes and nursing infants you have perfected praise." 17, then he left them, went out of the city to Bethany, and he lodged there. I like to especially focus on verse 13. And he said to them, "It is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but you made it a den of thieves." Jesus says that his church should be called a house of prayer. Now just think about that. Today when I go to a church, how many of the churches are really praying churches? Can we call ourselves a house of prayer? You see, Jesus came to cleanse the temple. Why? Because it wasn't a house of prayer. Instead, it was a house of teaching. It was a house of traditions. It was a house of religion. It was a house of rules. But there was not the spirit of prayer. You see, when there's a spirit of prayer, what will happen? We see in verse 14 that Jesus said, "Then the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them." I really believe if we would turn those churches, those buildings, those structures that we have, and we as people, as Christians, start praying, we will see God's glory falling down, and we should see these things taking place, healings. But instead, what do? We're like the scribe. We're so focused on those teachings. Oh, we want more teachings. We don't want to pray. We don't want to worship God. No, we want teachings. Oh, we want the comfortable chairs. We want religion. We want that tradition. But Jesus is saying we are a house of prayer. He's not saying we're a house of religion. We're not a house of teaching. We're not a house of comfort. We're not a house of rules. We're a house of prayer. Let's turn our churches into houses of prayer, so we may see God's glory increase, and we see healings happening, and people get healed of broken hearts. People get healed when they're lame. People, the sick, will be healed and recovered. We will see God's glory manifest in an amazing way. But to see that happen is we need to change our churches from the traditional churches, from a religion churches, from a houses of tradition, houses of religion, houses of teaching. We need to change it and make it houses of prayer, where we start praising and worshiping our Almighty King, our Almighty God. Hope this inspires you, and hope it will inspire you to turn our churches and make us people of houses of prayer. Thanks for listening. God bless.